Ghost Recon Wildlands is now out. I played some of the beta, and I've been playing some of the main release on PS4. I tried to play it on PC, but for whatever reason, both with the beta and the main game, I could not get it started. I tried it through Steam, and that has to go through Uplay, and I don't know if I just have a bad installation of Uplay, but I tried to install it again, and it just, for whatever reason, it shows the splash screen, and then it won't actually fire up. So I'm gonna try that again on my laptop instead of my desktop and see if that works. Because I have a nice little gigabyte 14-inch laptop that has a GTX 1070 in it, so that should handle the game fine. But I'll try that again and get back to you. For now, I'm just done with trying the PC version. So I've been playing on the PS4 version, and I know I've been griping a lot about the Ubisoft template of open world games, and that is in full display in Wildlands. But at the same time, I have to admit that this is sort of checking the right boxes for me in terms of just a sort of fun diversion. You can hop on for an hour or two and play either by yourself or with friends. And it's very much in the vein of like if Far Cry was third person and you played with 3 other people. You have a squad of 4 basically throughout, whether those are AI or friends or randoms. And what I really like about Wildlands is that you can really play it either way, solo or co-op. It doesn't matter. I mean, obviously the preferred way is co-op, but unlike a game like Destiny, which I think actively punishes solo players. I mean, you basically can't do some things in that game without a team. Wildlands lets you do anything in the game solo, just as easily as if you had friends with you. Your AI is pretty good. Your AI companions, it's not the best ever, but it's not bad. You have some control over what they do, more or less, and they don't actively get in your way, which is nice. But basically, as a solo player, by and large, because I just my gaming hours are so weird and random that it often don't line up with my friends, and I know most of my friends are in a similar situation as me. We have kids, we have crazy schedules, and it's hard enough. Like if I'm going to get together with friends to game, it's probably going to be either tabletop game or like Mario Kart, to be honest. But Wildlands gives you the opportunity to play solo as well. And so for solo players, I think it actually works pretty well. It may not be ideal, but at least you're not punished for it. I like Wildlands because one of my favorite things is you can play in third person, but shoot in first person, not just with sniper rifles, but with any weapon. And I love that. I love the fact that I can see my character running around, but then when I need to aim, I can zoom in and aim properly in first person, because I really don't, especially with a gamepad, I find it hard to aim in third person unless there's a lot of auto assist on, and I'd rather just do the first person. And honestly, that's true even with a mouse and keyboard. I'd rather be in first person when I'm shooting. For action games with like sword fighting and stuff, I'd much rather be in third person. But I like, this is kind of how I wish Destiny was. In fact, I really wish that this is how Destiny was, because you really customize the crap out of your Destiny character. And then you never see them except for when you're in a social area. You never see them unless you're in the pause screen. It would be great if Destiny was able to be played in third person, all the time, but then you zoomed in with your gun into first person. So I haven't gotten a really long ways into Ghost Recon Wildlands. I've encountered some interesting bugs, more in the beta, although I don't think the builds are any different. But I did have a moment when I drove my motorcycle into a wall, like a earthen wall, and then got trapped inside a glitch inside the wall, and I jumped my motorcycle around for like a really long time until I popped back out. That was fun. I've seen some other glitches, often with vehicles, oddly enough. But overall, it doesn't perform badly. It doesn't look as good as the PC version. or at least of footage I've seen on the PC version, since I haven't been able to actually get mine running. It doesn't look as good as bullshots, and which I think we should start calling bullshits. But it doesn't look as good as early footage. But and part of that on the PS4, I feel like they have some of the contrast balance off. It reminds me of some games I played on the Xbox One, actually, where it feels like the blacks are too poppy. And so you get this sort of like overly contrasted look going. And I really don't think that's the settings on my TV, because other games don't look like that. So the graphics are fine. I mean, I am not going to be the kind of reviewer who really freaks out if graphics aren't perfect. I do get annoyed that these companies are constantly, showing us early footage and whatnot that just doesn't live up to the final product. But I understand at the same time. That's kind of that's life. But anyways, so graphics are fine. Nothing to write home about. The world is huge. It's a huge open world. And I'm not sure that's... I mean, that we'll see. I have yet to make up my mind on it. It feels very, so far at least, it doesn't feel like there's a ton of variety. But I have seen, in trailers and whatnot, other areas, and I'm hoping that makes it a little more interesting as I go along. I do like that you can grab a plane and fly across the map really quickly. And there's a helicopter basically around every corner. I mean, you will never lack for helicopters. So as of right now, I am giving this, 3 thumbs up, not 4 thumbs up though, just 3, because I think it's just a fun diversion. I can see how it could grow tedious after a while, but I can also see how if you're just looking for something to do, especially with friends, and you want to just go ride around, do some missions, take down the Santa Blanco cartel, listen to some really cheesy dialogue and voice acting, and shoot some bad guys. This is not a bad game at all. It is a far cry from the Ghost Recon of old. I mean, I remember playing the first Ghost Recon, and you just had to be so stealthy, and you had to be so careful, and it was really I don't want to say slow. I mean, it was slow, but it was a deliberative approach to every mission. You had to really think about it. You had to be really careful. And I kind of loved that. I like that this is different. I mean, you can't just do the same thing over and over again, but it feels less like a Ghost Recon game and more like just a new game altogether. Sort of like, a third-person Far Cry or something. So I hope that they make another Wildlands after this. I hope that this is a sort of new sub-franchise, but I don't have a verdict yet. I have not played far enough. These are just my first impressions, So I will report back when I'm much deeper into the game. Thanks for watching. Peace.